What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with Alain Ghiai, CEO and Director of Sekur Private Data. It's a pleasure to have you back. Alain, how are you doing today?
Thanks, Aaron. Happy to be here, and in this tumultuous time, it's nice to have a communication with our shareholders.
Of course, yes. So can you start by giving us a quick update on the company since we last spoke, which was just about a month ago?
Well, we've had a couple of news releases, which we can discuss as we move along. We've released a new product with Secure Messenger for Enterprise, with archiving capability, which will help selling to financial organization and large enterprise, mass onboarding. So all of that being released for October officially. There was an interview that I did, I'd like to mention, with somebody named Mariusz Skonecki. I mispronounced it, but if you look it up, it's a 45-minute interview that really explains the status of the company right now, where we're headed, profitability, etc. So, you know, we've been working nonstop really to finish up some product, and sales have been very robust. So we're happy about that.
That's great to hear, especially in this market. So today, the company just announced they surpassed their 2022 user target. Can you tell us more about this exciting news?
Yeah, so if you go to securprivatedata.com, which is our corporate site, you should download and take a look at the FRC research report, Fundamental Research Corp. In there, they do announce our sales, the amount of users, and also, you know, for the next 3 years, I think, and when we would be profitable. So the target was 5,000 paid recurring users. And there's discussion because sometimes you have a user, but they don't continue the next month. Mm-hmm. So here are recurring users. We've surpassed that already, which is great because we still have October, November, and December to grow even more. So we've announced that. We've announced that now we're targeting as well, we're getting ready for next year for enterprise and small, medium business, SEO and targeting, things like that. So that will increase. We've seen that every customer buys more than one license, so that also increases the user base. Our average revenue per user is going up. So if you look at all the metrics, everything is on the upside. In fact, July was an amazing month compared to June. August was up 35%. And for September right now, we're fairly flat compared to August. We believe that we will meet our year-end targets announced also on the FRC report. And our user base, we exceeded that. The one thing, if you look at the report, we agree with fairly everything that they predict. Definitely the sales and the profitability. The only thing is that we do believe that we will end up with well over 2 to 2.5 million Canadian dollars at the end of 2023. That is without raising any cash. And the report shows about 500,000 because they have a different metrics when they estimate how much we're going to spend on marketing. If I may elaborate on our budgets, and then I'll let you to the other question, because it's kind of related. Our user base is going to continue on SEO target and also on partnerships. We have reduced our budgets for 23, 24, and 25 by 60% compared to 2022. This permits us to get to profitability mode in the next 24 to 30 months or sooner with still a sizable amount of cash in the bank. And as you know, some of you may not know, we have no debt whatsoever and no conversion. This is a situation without any warrants being exercised, except some that I own myself. Most people who are in the stock know all of that. And also it doesn't include any fundraising or any uplisting of any sort if we have any. So we're in very, very good shape. We have switched the dial dramatically in this environment to make sure that we have plenty of cash until profitability without having to dilute our shareholders at these ridiculous prices.
Yes, cash is very important in this environment, and that's nice to hear. So as you just mentioned, the company launched Secure Messenger for Enterprises. You know, can you tell us a little bit more about that? Why it's so important for the company?
It's important because it was already in demand. So we have some government contracts that we may not get, but definitely in Latin America, there were some government contracts and defense contracts that people were looking at, and they want to onboard 1,000 people. So one of the features that we're adding is mass onboarding. In terms of the archiving feature, which is new to the enterprise feature, this is required by investment banks, financial organization, where they need to store and archive 10 years the messages. So if you use secure message today, you know that you have a self-destruct timer, you're a client yourself. And what happens is that if you're a banker and you're communicating with someone, instead of using, your typical apps that are out there that are unsecure, you'll probably use secure doing the chat by invite and all of that. But then when your message disappears on your end and the customer, the bank doesn't have a track of that. US banks are being fined $1 billion US because their employees are using WhatsApp and Signal and things like that. So with this, we comply with the retention laws, meaning archiving for X amount of years. And at the same time, the user can have the self-destruct, so it won't show on their devices if they're hacked or whatever. So that's a big thing. And we're going to announce down the road the same for email as well. We do have an email archiving. We'll do a whole other thing down the road about it. But the messenger is huge because there's no alternative out there for privacy and security at the level that we offer. And this satisfies some of the investment banks we've discussed with in New York when I go on my trips there.
Yeah, that's very exciting for you guys. So Sekur recently announced that it is seeking to increase global awareness of its Swiss cybersecurity products through strategic media partnerships. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, and what is your plan for that?
Sure. So I'm sure a lot of people will remember how much money we spent on what we call branding and advertising in 2021. Well, there's a purpose to it because it finally brought awareness of the product and the company to a lot of people. We can now continue. We have reduced those expenses dramatically in Q3, sorry, starting July. So you'll see it, I guess. Starting July onward, we've reduced them, but we kept 3 things. So first of all, we have our news show on Newsmax, 2 shows a week. We have the secure privacy and security segment, which is literally the hack of the week, educating our customer, and of course, talking about secure and how we can help the customer. Then we have an interview usually with Jane King. She's a financial journalist out of Nasdaq or the New York Stock Exchange. And we discuss the company and sometimes, the cybersecurity in general. We do get a lot of users from these shows. They're on Newsmax, which is nationwide, Fox Business, and a couple of times a month it goes on Bloomberg TV as well. Newsmax is a channel that's growing exponentially. And as we approach the US election, presidential election, it's projected to increase its audience multifold. So we're lucky. We're getting organic signups more and more. In fact, half of our signups come from that show now. We also have a huge billboard on the Nasdaq building, 100 feet wide, obviously with our secure domain, icon, ticker, etc. We have about 8 billboards on 42nd and Broadway, and those bring a lot of subscribers. So that's something that we're going to continue, because just on that and our partnership that we're planning to have, we can reduce our client acquisition costs, our CAC, in the next 36 months down to below $20 US. And that's a huge thing, because even if we don't spend a dime on anything right now and just keep the TV shows and the ads, we can basically become profitable by 2025.
That's a great plan. So, there's been a lot of talk in the media recently about an upcoming recession, as we know. How's your business positioned to overcome this? And, are you concerned at all?
No, in fact, if I may, going back to the previous question, which will answer this recession thing, we have had 3 partners that saw us on the TV shows. One of them is expecting to have 150,000 users in about 18 months for Sekur. I mean, we will see how it evolves if that happens. The other one is expecting to do 15,000 users by the end of next year, 2023. So you see, these kind of TV audience and media gives you amazing, amazing exposure. Now, you can have a recession, but you still have hackers. And in fact, businesses are spending more on cybersecurity right now, and this will continue. And if they're going to cut something, it will not be their security and cybersecurity. If anything, that's increasing. So we're in an amazing sector. You may cut off some marketing, you may cut off some other thing, but you're not going to cut off the thing that protects your data, which is the most valuable asset of a business. So we see strong growth continued. We are excited because we're going to target small, medium business enterprise, especially next year. We're super excited about that. We actually see a lot of small businesses buying our solution, which are a little bit more money. If you buy the Messenger for business, it's $7 a month. The Sekur combo is 15 instead of 10. There's reasons for it because of these tools that we provide for business. But it's really nothing. I'm in a business for them to spend $20 a month. It's worth it to protect your data and your communication. We're also adding VPN and other tools next year. So no, we see an increase, steady, robust. We do not see a recession in our business whatsoever. Definitely not. And especially as we move towards small, medium businesses.
Yeah, that's great. Next year should be really exciting for you. So can you give us any updates in terms of the Nasdaq uplisting? I know it's a really tough market.
Well, I can't comment about the Nasdaq now because we did file an F1 registration. I'm allowed to say it because it's a public document that you can look it up, which is like an S1 for foreign issuers. So that has been filed. And that's all I can say. There's no guarantee that we're going to be on Nasdaq. The interest from the investment bank is definitely there. And I believe in the next 6 months, as we continue to grow and continue to show the growth in user base, in dollars and so forth, and provide a road to profitability, which we have started to do now, I believe there will be interest anyway. The markets, no one knows. I mean, we're trading at 1.5 times book value, 3 times cash. Now, remember, we have 0 debt. We're trading literally at 3 times cash. And every day we have subscribers signing up. So every month, our monthly recurring revenue increases every month and every quarter. So we're highly, highly undervalued. We're hoping the market will realize that in the next few months. I have been buying myself in the open market. I found my SEDI filings. A lot of people who follow our stock know what I'm doing. I think at these levels, it's extremely compelling because there's an underlying value that can't be denied. So I can't comment much about NASDAQ. I can only say that we did file an F1 registration. And, we're crossing fingers, but the company, regardless of the uplisting or not, has plenty of cash to make it to profitability. And we are running the company as if we're never going to get another dime from anyone. So we're really good at that, at switching overnight. And like I said, we cut 60% of our budget of spending for 2023 and beyond. And that's something that, we're very proud of that we're able to do without jeopardizing the product, the security, the management of all of our company.
Yeah, I think that's very important, especially in the market that we're in. So, why is cybersecurity such an important industry moving forward? And where do you see the true potential of this sector?
Well, cybersecurity is something omnipresent, right? I think there's studies there that show, I think in 2021, hacking and cyber damage and cyber hacks has cost the global economy $6 trillion in 2021. It's increasing because we all use digital devices, right? Whether there's an election in the US, there's a midterm election now, these hackers are going to be all over the place because, if you're active in election and you get an email talking about one of the candidates or the political party, something, you will click on it, right? Because you're very active, you're exchanging email ideas with your groups. So you're being email phishing is called. So you're being phished via political discussion, financial, mortgage rates are going through the roof. Debt is increasing, debt cost. There's a lot of mortgage companies that can send you something. So these hackers know that there's an increased amount of activity related to financial issue and political issue. So aside from the regular problems that we have, this is piling on top, and we see cybersecurity very important to protect your data, because the hackers are there and they're getting very, very crafty, and people don't realize, right? It's a statistic number. If you can target and 2% of people click on the thing to steal your data and your wallets and all of that, I mean, that's a success for a hacker. So that's why it's important. For businesses, it is critical now, because all the big tech companies are being compromised and they resell your data. And we're the only ones that do not use big tech infrastructure. We do not sell your data. We're hosted in Switzerland on our proprietary technology and infrastructure. And I think businesses are realizing that, hey, this is quite the thing. Before I finished, there was a lawyer that sent me a bunch of articles in New York, I think I don't want to say the county, I may make a mistake, one of the counties of New York, huge issues with the entire organization, the government organization, the legal part is being hacked. It's just creating like havoc, and that's gonna really increase exponentially.
Yeah, this problem's not going to get any better anytime soon. So where should investors go for more information on the company?
You can go to securprivatedata.com, which is our corporate site. I encourage everyone to go to the investor section. Check the report, FRC Research. It's a great report. It talks about the competition. We do have a target of 96 cents Canadian, I think about 75 cents US. So that's a generous target. Of course, we don't decide these targets. This is a truly independent research report. You have news, you have things like that. Then if you want to buy the product or know more about the solution, go to sekur.com. I'd like to give a promo code to our viewers, SEKUR15. So if you decide to buy the product, whether it's email, messenger, or the combo, put Sekur15 and you get 15% off for the whole year. Also, follow us on Twitter at SekurPrivate or on LinkedIn under Sekur Private Data Ltd. I think a lot of people use Twitter, so follow us, and we're very transparent with all our information.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Alain. It's always a pleasure getting more information, and I know we'll have you back on for more updates. So best of luck with everything in the meantime.
Thanks, Aaron. Lots happening, so I'm sure we'll see each other soon. Very excited about it. Thank you.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.